Hi everybody, and welcome to A Soul Full of Books. This is our February, March, April-ish book haul. So it's going to be pretty long, so buckle in. Two things before we get started. One, if you notice my voice is hoarse, it's because I'm overcoming strep throat, and so just bear with us. Or me. Okay, so the first book in my book haul is actually a book I just picked up from Barnes & Noble. It was on sale for about $5, so I picked it up. And that is Survive the Night by Danielle Vega. I'm halfway through this book. I'm really enjoying it. It is about just a rave in subway tunnels, and one of their friends is found dead, and now they just have to survive the night. Again, not the best synopsis, but we're trying to get through these books pretty fast. So, Survive the Night by Danielle Vega. Also, if you guys have read any of the books we're talking about, please leave a comment below and like this video so we can talk about the books.
My first book is Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card. I believe it's his first high fantasy novel. He's mostly known for Ender's Game, which is really good. I need to go back and read the series. Sorry, I've only read Ender's Game. I haven't read the rest of it. This looks really good. I'm not too familiar with what it's about. It's been a while, so I'll have to reread the synopsis on this one. It's got a really cool cover and stuff.
I know, I like that. So the next book I have, I actually got from our Dallas trip, and that is, I got this from Book Outlet. That's Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I know I'm probably very, very late to the game, but I'm excited to read it. And
that cover is really cool.
I know, the cover's cool, and what's even cooler, it's hardback. Got it for $3 on Book Outlet. That is why we worship Book Outlet.
I'm happy with Book Outlet now.
Yeah, he'll talk to you in a little bit about a book he got from Book Outlet he wasn't too happy with.
The next book I got is The Secret Country by Pamela Dean. I got it, I believe, on our Dallas trip. It is a book about cousins that go to a family trip, and they play a game where they pretend to be people from a different, different land, like universe, basically. And they actually get transported into that country, and they start playing the roles that they were playing in their game with their imagination.
That's pretty cool. It's almost like Jumanji a little bit.
Yeah, so there's no board game. It's just a game they play.
That's cool.
Like children do.
Jumanji scares me.
Jumanji does scare you.
Yeah. Okay, so the next book I have is also from Book Outlet, and it is Because You Love to Hate Me, and this is an anthology of YouTube writers, which I think is pretty cool. Only thing is, this was not a scratch and dent, and there's a little tear in the dust jacket. So that was my first bad experience with Book Outlet. Other than that, I absolutely love it, and I think when we do another 24-hour readathon, which, by the way, we did film a 24-hour readathon, I just never posted it because we were both looking rough.
Okay, the next book I got is The Hobbit. I got this really cool, this is one of the newer editions, I believe, because they all have the newer art on the back. You can see. I don't have any of the ones in the newer art. I do have something to show you later that is very cool. But I got this from Book Outlet just because I love Lord of the Rings, and I've been wanting to reread The Hobbit because I haven't read it since I was 13 or 14, when I was in junior high and high school. So I'm very excited to read it. I got it from Book Outlet for $2 or $3.
So the next book I have is We'll Never Be Apart by Emiko Jean. I found this on clearance at Half Price Books for $1. It seems pretty cool, basically, from what I can ascertain. It's about a girl who goes to a mental institution after her jealous sister kills her boyfriend, and she is told recently by the patients that her jealous sister has also been admitted to the mental hospital, and she goes on this quest with this mysterious guy to find her sister and exact revenge. So, I don't know, sounds interesting, and it was also on clearance, so.
The next book I have is Hard Magic by Larry Correia. This was one of the, this is I think this is his second one. that involves like monsters and magic and stuff. The first one was Monster Hunter, which is one of his more famous novels. And then he's done a military novel as well. Hard Magic is set around or after World War II, and it involves Agent Jake Sullivan as he tracks down magic users for the government, and it leads to shenanigans.
And like here, the cover is seriously everything.
Yeah, it's got a super noir vibe, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. So the next book I got is Written in Red by Anne Bishop. I'm not gonna lie, got this at Half Price Books because it was on my Goodreads TBR. I don't remember when I added it on my Goodreads TBR, but I picked it up. Is there anybody else who does that? You don't know why you added it, but you know you should buy it because it's on your TBR. So yeah, anyway, Written in Red by Anne Bishop.
The next book I got is Spellbound by Blake Charlton. Apparently, this is the second book in the series. I got this from Book Atlas. That's why I don't really know much about it. And apparently I got the second one. So I will not be reading it for a while until I get the first one.
What's the first one's name?
Spelled Right.
I'm going to do 2 in a row just because I have a little bit more of a stack over here to get rid of than him. So the next one I got is Black City by Elizabeth Richards. Basically seems like it's not angels and demons, but you know, that kind of good and evil struggle, and then the good and evil children fall in love, and you know, one of those typical like stories. So I'm really excited to start reading it. So yeah. Okay, and then this one I found at Half Price Books a while ago that I have been looking for, and that is V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. It's in pretty dang good condition. I'm super excited that I found it. Also, I have the best luck of finding bookmarks inside of my Half Price books. This one is You Could Battle the Stars by Sarah J. Maas. So thought that was pretty cool that I found that inside a book I've been looking for a while.
Okay, my next book is a Book Outlet order as well. It's called The Wizard Lord. What it's about is the Wizard Lord duty is to basically take care of the world and make sure it's just in balance and stuff. But if a Wizard Lord chooses to stray from that path, there's a group called the Chosen, which are the embodiments of they're magically infused mortal people, and the story is mainly focused on this young man named Breaker, who takes up the mantle of the swordsman when he chooses to retire. So it looks really interesting. It kind of anything that gives me a Lord of the Rings vibe, I tend to go with as a book that I will read, and this gives me a Lord of the Rings vibe just because they're on an epic quest to stop a all-powerful being. So it looks really good.
So the next books I have are the After series. I got this in Dallas. I saw that it was a Wattpad sensation, just like my one of my favorite young YA thriller writers, Natasha Pearson, and this is by Anna Todd. Read the first one, read the second one, kind of am like stalled on the third one. If you guys want to hear more about this series, you can watch my March review or April TBR because I talk about these some. So, okay, and then I have The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. This is the sequel to The Bone Season. So I got the hardback in this one, and I kind of want the hardback in Bone Season because it looks really cool. And then I got Landry Park. It was like $1 at Half Price Books. It was in clearance. I already have Jubilee Manor, which is the second in this duology. And I had given away Landry Park, so I just grabbed this to complete my duology.
My next book is The Pilgrims by Will Elliott. It is basically a Narnia-esque story where these two friends in London are just drifting by, basically. And one day they find a door that leads to another universe, but they don't go through it the first time. And they can't help but wait for the door to reappear, and they go through it, and that's when the story really starts. The the art is really cool too. I like the art. It's
Yeah,
got
I
like
do
a
too.
Coliseum looking thing in the back, and then there's a red door that looks like the door to the other universe.
Yeah. Okay, so the next book I have, I actually won off of Goodreads. You know those giveaways they have in Goodreads? This book was one of the first books I signed up for the Goodreads giveaway. I didn't actually know what it was about fully. In my mind, I thought it was about something else, and it wasn't. So anyway, this is Come West and See by Maxim Luskov. This book I tried to read, I couldn't get through it, so I actually have a program that me and Cody will be starting about books we DNF and possibly just giving them away to people who really want them on BookTube or Bookstagram, because we're really kind of tired of sending them to half-price books not knowing where they're going, because we both kind of have an emotional attachment to our books, even ones we don't really like. So stay tuned for that video, which will probably be uploaded after this one. So yeah, anyway.
The next book is Chasers of the Wind by Alexei Payov. Don't really remember much about it because it was a book outlet order from a while ago. But the art is cool. It's got a man fighting what I assume is an orc.
Looks like an
white,
orc.
so I don't really
I can
know.
hold it further.
No,
Yeah, it looks like an orc right there in the back.
yeah. So I don't really remember what that one's about. But the author is Russian, so that means it's probably gonna be good. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, so my next two books are Tracer by Rob Beauford. I heard that this was a really, really good sci-fi book, so I purchased this in Dallas, and I'm hoping it lives up to the hype. And then the next book I purchased is Nightshade by Andrea Kramer, and this was for my book club, and there will be a review coming on it shortly.
My next book is The Tales of the Beetle and the Bard. I'm sure everyone knows what this is. No need to explain it. Someone has never read it. I won't say who. You know, they're not in this room right now. They're not in this room right now. So, you know, I got this at Dallas. It was super cheap. It was $3 or $4, and I had an original copy when I was in high school. I don't know what happened to that copy, so I went ahead and picked it up again.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of books that are offshoots of the universe where our characters have already finished their stories up, but I need to start kind of...
It's not an offshoot. It's not a continuation. It is childhood.
It's in the same
tales.
universe.
It doesn't matter. It's childhood.
Well, I don't
tales.
like that.
She's wrong. I don't even know what to do about her.
Okay, so next I have Violent Ends by 17 different authors, and I'm not going to go super into this because it is in my March review. And then I also have The Hidden Twin by Ada Rule. Found this on Book Outlet, not 100% sure what it's about. I might have shown this on a previous book haul, but I wasn't sure, so I thought I would just add it in again. Next I have The Devil's Engine Hellraisers by Alexander Gordon Smith. This looked really creepy and kind of scary, and I was definitely in the mood for that when I ordered it from Book Outlet. Not in the mood anymore, but hopefully when I get in one of those creepy, scary vibe moods, I'll pick this up again. And now I have This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I'm pretty sure I've already shown this, so I'm just gonna not show anymore.
Next book I have is Across the Faces of the World by Russell Kirkpatrick. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this is about anymore. This is also one of our Dallas books, but it looks good. The art is really cool.
We were slightly
Giant moon.
We were slightly sleep deprived in Dallas, so I don't think we remember some of these books. Alright, so I'm going to do some in quick succession, because I've talked about some of these. So the first one is The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. And this one was purchased in Dallas, and I'm excited to read this at some point. The next book is Vellum by Hal Duncan. This one is dystopian, I believe. Yes, because it's about basically angels and demons walking the earth, but it puts it in the future, sort of. Honestly, it might be fantasy and dystopian mixed in. Alright, Thomas E. Sangoski's Savage. This is basically about a girl who is going to get out of her crazy, dramatic, kind of crappy life to go to veterinary school, and a huge hurricane washes up on the island she lives in, and after the hurricane, they have to survive basically all of the animals having turned rabid and trying to eat or kill them. Okay, next book I have is Sabrina Benalis' Akron, the Books of Raziel. I have this in ebook form. I don't like reading ebooks that much, especially if they're pretty thick books, just because I get headaches sometimes. I also get distracted by Facebook because I normally read it on my phone. So I've been looking high and low for a copy of this, and Book Outlet had it, so I'm happy. Alright, and then I also have Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, stories selected by April Genevieve Tookloff. I got it because it's an anthology I was seeing all around, and it also looks creepy because it's psychological thrillers, so yeah.
My next book is something that I'm very excited about, with the exception of one thing, which I will show you. I bought on Book Outlet. I have been wanting to get the trilogy, Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Book Outlet had them very cheaply, but I waited on my Book Outlet order forever and ever, just because, I'm very picky, like I said earlier, and I was going through and changing things around, and I was going to finally put the Lord of the Rings copies in my my cart, but then I found a 50th edition hardback copy. The only issue is it was a scratch and dent, which I did not realize at the time, and it has a cut on the hardback cover, and then the jacket has a cut in it where that same cut is on the book. But other than that, and then the jacket is a little bit messed up. Other than that, the book is in phenomenal quality.
And you prefer
the pages are fine. I prefer the binding anyway.
Yeah.
Just because this jacket is so messed up, but the actual page quality is
phenomenal,
fantastic for what was done at the outside. I'm not upset at all about it. I'm very excited to have this, though.
Alright, so a book I have, which I have talked about, and I think it was the makeup tag, is Fevers 1793 by Lori Hossel Anderson. And if you guys want to learn more about this, go check out that makeup tag video. And then I have All the Rage, a novel by Courtney Summers. I've recently started getting into contemporary books, and this one just seems like something that I would really, really find enjoying and thought-provoking. Then I also have another Alexander Gordon Smith book. This is Lockdown, Escape from the Furnace, or Furnace. Probably already showed you guys this one. I can't remember. Maybe I was just talking about it to Cody, so here it is. And also, look at this back. Seriously, terrifying.
My next book is another Larry Correia novel, Son of the Black Sword. It's really hard to read the cover because of how it's written, but it's a really cool cover. It is about a swordsman who hunts demons and finds out that all of the truth about his birth is not what he was told, and he goes on a quest to find out more about it. It's really good.
Sounds interesting. Okay, and then I'm in Dallas. I also finally got a copy of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Everybody has had such amazing rave things to say about it. And it's a novel, which is super cool because you do not find standalone novels nowadays. I at least don't, that I want to read, ever. I don't ever find standalone novel books I want to read. So
neither do I, really.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited to have purchased this. Okay, now I'm going to do my last two, and then Cody's going to do his last two. So the next one is Fates Divided by Jules Bernard, and this is basically about Immortal Fae. Didn't read any more. Literally the first two words of the synopsis are Immortal Fae, and I wanted to read it, so. And last but not least for me is Kristen Simmons' Article 5, Compliance is Mandatory. This is a straight up dystopian. You should know by now, I'm all about that dystopian life because it terrifies me and makes me think it could actually happen in the future, so.
My next book is Lord of Snow and Shadows by Sarah Ash. It's got a cool cover. It's a high fantasy novel, and that's all I remember about it because it was in Dallas. It was like 2 months ago. So, yeah, it looks really good though. Okay, my final book is actually not just one book, but it's two. But once I show them you, I'm sure you'll understand why I'm doing them together. It is books 1 and 2 of the Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm currently reading the second one. I saved this for last because I have not had a book series that has drawn me in so hard and so fast since, like, I want to honestly say Harry Potter. Like, Lord of the Rings is really cool. If I reread them, I'm sure I'll enjoy them because just like The Hobbit, it's been years since, it's been like a decade since I read them. This has been amazing. This has been easily one of my favorite novels of all time. The fact that they use music in such an amazing way throughout the entire story is really cool to me. And I'm just now starting A Wise Man's Fear, and I'm very excited. He needs to finish the third one.
So also, I kind of lied because I just remembered I won 3 more books on Goodreads through giveaways.
Yes, you did. Lucky.
So I'm going to put these are all ebooks, so I'm going to put the picture right here.
Where my face is.
The first one was City of Masks by Ashley Capes. I started reading that one, but it didn't quite pull me in. The next one was Blood and Flesh by Willow Rose. Over there. This one I'm almost done with. It was so good. And then the next one is a contemporary by. Well, you have to wait for the review. The next one is Sophie by Tal Safani.
Right there.
I'm probably saying that so wrong. Okay, guys, how did I get taller than you?
So I'm like pointing back.
So this was our book outlet, Half Price Books, Barnes and Noble, huge, giant, like March, April, condensed book haul. If you guys enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and wait for that video coming out, which is probably going to be pretty interesting. I don't think anybody's doing this right now. It's about how we are going to start rehoming our DNFs. So until next time, bye.
Bye.